Now, as we know, Erling Haaland has been in devastating form this season. He had to be taken off at half-time, however, in Tuesday's draw at Dortmund. A knock, a fever, a bit of tiredness as well, according to Guardiola. What do you make of the situation here, and should he have actually played him in the first place then?
I think so. I think Pep would have spoke to Erling before the game, and it was a huge game. People forget, Erling was desperate to go back. He didn't have the opportunity to say a proper goodbye to the Dortmund fans, where he had a fantastic relationship with them. And he would have been desperate to play. He's probably told Pep that he wants to play, and Pep, the one thing he does is trust his players. And then obviously when he's come in at half-time, he's got a little niggle in his foot, a bit of a fever, a little bit of tiredness in as well, and it's probably the right decision to take him off before it made him any worse. And the other thing with Erling, not just because it was Dortmund, he's setting all sorts of ridiculous records at the minute, and especially in the Champions League, so he would have wanted to add to his total, with it being at Dortmund and everything else. He would have been desperate to play, but whether it was the right decision to start him or not, definitely the right decision to take him off at half-time and manage the minutes that he's been getting.
You might not trust him now if he says, I'm feeling all right. Are you sure? Are you sure? You've got to have that relationship, haven't you, with your players, because they're going to be desperate. I mean, I remember my dad back in the day saying, if Scotland were in some kind of qualifying, for a major tournament and my foot was hanging off, I'd still want to play. Yeah,
that was the same. As a player, you want to play every game you can. And I've told a few little fibs to my managers back in the day, because you do want to play, and Erling's no different. But the right decision was to take him off at half-time. The one thing I will say is that I don't think before the game it could have been that serious.
Yeah.
Because if it had have been, the medical team at all Premier League clubs in Manchester City now are fantastic, and they would have pulled him out the squad straight away. So I think maybe, and hopefully, a little bit too much is getting read into it.
Yes. Is there a danger though? Do you think they're becoming too dependent on him?
I think it's hard not to. You think, we're in October now, and he's got 22 goals. Most top strikers are happy with that over the course of a season, and so why not be dependent on him at the minute? But the one thing Man City do know, that if Erling does need a rest, or he's going to be out for a game or any length of time, all they'll do is refresh back to last season and the season before, where they played without a number 9. Last season they scored 99 goals without a centre forward being there. They've still got, people say they've lost Gabriel Jesus and Raheem Sterling. They've got young Julian Alvarez who's come in, who's he's looked really, really good, scored lots of goals at a young age in Argentina. And also they've got Phil Foden, they've got Jack Grealish, they've got Kevin De Bruyne, who have always played the false 9 over the last couple of seasons. So it would be a blow if he was out, just purely because of the stats and the goals that he scored. But if he had to miss him for a few games, I'm sure Manchester City have the squad depth to cope with that.